The Zimbabwe Economic Policy Analysis and Research Unit was formed in 2004 with the idea of setting up a policy think tank whose mandate was to undertake research to inform the policy-making process in Zimbabwe.
SCBF has established supported more than 40 think tanks across Africa as we speak now. And because of that important work and because of our involvement in the Go to Global Think Tank initiative, SCBF has been recognized as a key player in that field, and actually we are now hosting the Secretariat of the African Think Tank Network.
In terms of proactive research, it's us, particularly this was supported mainly by the African Capacity Building Foundation, where we found that this is where the policy issues or policy challenges are, but currently there is not sufficient evidence to inform that process, and we will then endeavor to do that through a consultative process and then inform government about the outcome.
The kind of work Zimbabwe is doing, for instance, this study on the financial distortion issues in Zimbabwe here, we think that it's a very important study that will actually pave the way for understanding and resolving some of the issues.
Part of 6 other studies that the African Capacity Building Foundation is supporting, and it's on an analysis of financial market distortions.
For this particular event, we believe that really it has a big value for the country, and we are very happy to see that Zimbabwe has been able to actually bring together the cream of the people who know about the issue, so that they can help articulate what are the key dimensions that should be examined in this particular study.
At the end of the day, I think we want to come up with some suggested or recommendations on how we can enhance the development of the financial sector in Zimbabwe for it to deliver what it's supposed to deliver to the generality of the economy.
We have instruments where government will borrow on a private placement. They negotiate. As to the tenure, they negotiate on the tenure, they negotiate on the amount, they also negotiate on the rate, on the price. Now, for the same instrument, with the same characteristics, because of the different sources of liquidity, you can actually get different rates. Say for 91 days, you can have someone negotiating 14%, someone negotiating for 7%, depending on their negotiating skills.
Our major concern as a regulator is IBEC would be on not only the short-term returns of the markets, but also with the long-term sustenance thereof. Because as our pensioners, our life policies, we look more on the long-term aspect of our financial markets, their stability, their volatility, rather than just what is happening currently. So if you are to look at the state of our economy, the state of our financial markets over the past 10, 15, 20 years, I think the story is well known by everyone. What has happened, what is happening, and the shade of uncertainty that is there. So those are things that tend to worry us, not only as an industry, but even as a regulator.
The absence of an active interbank market like what is prevailing at the moment. Banks are actually operating in silos. It's on a bilateral basis. It then becomes very tricky for someone to come up with a market price as equal, because there's no market to talk about.
If you look at last year, we find that the market had registered significant losses from the beginning of the year up to around the 3rd quarter of the year. But we actually managed to recoup all our losses within 1 quarter. That's the last quarter of 2017, because of what was happening. So the question there is, whatever was happening, is it the right thing? Was it driven by speculation, or was it driven by fundamentals? Is it something that we should entertain? And is it also not causing other problems in terms of creating what money that then goes back onto putting pressure on the Reserve Bank.
We don't have financial institutions. What then that means is that every aspect that needs to be done has to be done by a commercial bank. But most of these commercial banks don't have the expertise that lies in such institutions such as venture capital, leasing houses, and the like. So what does that mean? That becomes more of a distortion because all projects that go through commercial banks are just lumped together, and the credit assessment is just the same for every project.
We also would want to see a situation where financial literacy is extended to women so that they can participate within the financial market at a larger scale. Because if we look at what is happening now, from the study as alluded to by the previous speakers, they were saying 99% needs to be accounted for in terms of uptake of financial products. And the bulk of our population is women, 52%. So if they are sidelined, we are looking at potential clients who are not represented or who are not participating within our financial sector.
We would also want if there can be a research to see if there can be some kind of incentives in terms of taxes for those who are doing the financial inclusion, and also for those who want to invest, if there can be a way that they can be incentivized so that we can get external funding. The banks are also coming in as competition. Most banks now have MFIs, so when we go to apply for money from banks, we cannot access money from them, which then leaves just a little pool for us to borrow from, and that little pool, obviously, the problems that we are all facing to say, if there's only one person who has money, obviously they will dictate how they want the money to be used.
The absence of a borrowing plan by the government. Borrowing plans facilitate proper planning of cash flows for the surplus units, even the deficit units. But if the government is borrowing at the basis, it gives some kind of distortions in the pricing.
The foundation of the multi-tier pricing, we understand that it is coming from an unbalanced economy where the government probably is funded the budget deficit through other means like the provision of the treasury bills, and that has sort of also continued to cause serious challenges because right now there is high demand on the market in terms of demand for goods and services, but that is actually not being matched by production. People are not actually, the industry is not able to keep up with the demand which is out there. Why? Because after protection, the SI 64, which is now SI 120, it gave them the advantage to be able to retool, to be able to increase capacity. But right now the challenge is the capacity has increased, rather demand has increased on the market, but at the same time you need to match it with production.
My colleague was talking about informal economy in cash and what have you. It is true, the informal economy, we have US dollars, we have rands, we don't have export, we don't have forex problems. This is a fact, we don't have to. But what is it we have to do to be able to convert that capital? The US dollar that is sitting in my mattress is the same US dollar that we're going to Davos to see. And I'm saying we should actually be discussing in the context of we do have resources. It's the same US dollar. How can we tap into that? What is it which makes the US dollar sit in my bedroom instead of coming out?
There's plenty of cash on the street, both local and foreign cash, but there is almost none in the banks. So that means that there is dysfunctionality in the markets, somewhere, somehow. But one of the things this points out to, obviously, is that the informal markets have clear trading rules, which we also need to find out what rules these are, how they are working, and perhaps maybe we can actually use that understanding to improve or eliminate the distortions in the formal markets.
There has been research elsewhere, I think particularly in America. There's an organization called the Consultative Group to Assist the Poor, CCAP. They've prescribed a certain formula which can be used to determine what could be a reasonable rate which MFIs can charge, which formula looks at a number of issues. I've already said for the bank, when they say charge 2% per month because we have given you money at a certain cost, that makes sense, but certainly for microfinance institutions, maybe finance charges are not even the biggest cost driver. MFIs operate in very remote areas and they charge very small loans, and invariably they are more expensive to deliver than the bigger loans that the bigger banks actually give out. So we'll be happy to see, maybe guided by the CGAP prescribed formula, a locally derived process arriving at what will be an optimal cost of funds that MFIs will be then charging to their clients.